Welcome to the Sunday Studies Podcast, a weekly message of hope to fight back those feelings of dread, fear, or anxiety of the week to come. This is a place to pause and find momentary solace and encouragement before you dive into the days ahead. Here's to finding it and feeling it together.
Welcome back to another Sunday Studies, the 47th edition for those of y'all who are keeping count. And today we have a fun-filled show about stress and panic attacks, possibly, and sadness and joy and all the things that lie in between. And a letter that I wrote to myself about a month ago. And so this one all came from a quote that I heard a couple of months ago, and then a couple of weeks ago I wrote about it as a letter to myself, and today I needed to hear it, and I hope that you need to hear it today as well. And I hope there's some things that you'd like to see, and you can see those things on Substack at jakeelif.substack.com. I'm also on the YouTube, that's right, not just a YouTube, but the YouTube, at Elifino, that's ELLIFFIKNOW. And we're going to cut the chit-chat and the riffraff with all these promotional things, and we're going to get here to the point of why you are here, which is to hear or see or experience Sunday Studies. And today's Sunday Studies, number 47, is called To the Point of Tears. And it goes like this. When I'm writing this, I am currently fighting some harsh feelings of stress and anxiety. Call it a case of the Sunday scaries on a Wednesday afternoon if you want. As I was sitting at my desk at work, trying not to drown in panic and stress, I looked back in my notes app and found something I wrote to myself a few weeks ago. This letter quelled the panic in my chest and subdued the scaries in my heart, so it only feels right that I share it with you today too. December 12th, 2022. I read a quote from the writer and philosopher Albert Camus that reads as follows: "Live to the point of tears." And when I read that, I felt it so deep within me that it shocked my senses back to life like it had been in cardiac arrest. Oh, if we could only inhabit this kind of living on a consistent basis. To give of ourselves, not exasperated or beaten down, but full of fervor and fight, with passion unbridled and pure devotion to the gift that is life itself. With hearts like waterfalls and eyes like diamonds, glistening and glimmering at the sheer sight of what this life has to hold for us and hold us with. I am tired of merely living half-heartedly, a mere exister in the beautiful tapestry that is existence. I am no longer afraid of giving of myself. And I do not mean giving of myself in a way that burns me out, but rather giving off a bright burning flame that only grows with time through the ever-kindling embers of love and joy. I will live life to the point of tears. It will consist of both joyful and sorrowful sobs. I will wrestle and wring my way through it at times, to the point where it pushes me to almost breaking. And I will also laugh and leap with untamable joy at its highest of highs. I have been the caged bird for far too long, sitting in spaces that hindered growth and opportunity, beaten down by the constricting confines of my existence. But I am recognizing that I held the key to open this cage all along, that it is a choice to live freely, far-fetched as it may seem to some. I choose to open the cage, spread my wings and fly, even if that means I must learn the hard way along the way. I will not let the fear of the unknown entrap me in a less than life. I will live as honestly and truthfully as I can, to the point of tears and even beyond them if necessary. I hope that you will too. After reading this letter to me from the last month, I'm reminded that life is full of all kinds of tears, the good ones and the bad ones. But I would rather live a life to that full extent than to settle for something that is void of passion or purpose. Pain and suffering are part of the human tax we must pay to live the fullness of life. But on the other hand, joy and freedom are the reward for choosing to do so as well. May these words that I wrote to me bring strength to you for your scary moments ahead, and be wind in your sails to push onward to a fuller life. And may you and I and all of us live our lives to the point of tears with each and every breath that we are given. And the poem this week, to the point of tears, with hands and hearts wide open, how I want to live. That's Sunday Studies 47. I hope that it brought you some kind of steadiness today, because I needed it, and I hope you needed it too. As always, you can check out all the cool things on Substack. You can check all the cool things out everywhere. Just know that I'm here, and I think that's the most important thing, is that you're here and I'm here, and we keep showing up. And I think that's part of living life to the point of tears, is pushing past the hard things and saying, you know what? If nothing else, I'm here today, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that I'm here too. But with all that being said, I hope that something today, if it's this or something else or whatever, gave you some steadies to fight the scaries. Remember that you can always reach out if you need anything. And as always, I'm in your corner. Bye. See you soon.
This beautiful intro and outro music for Every Sunday Studies is graciously provided by my good buddy, Jordy Searcy. If you're not listening already, you're doing yourself a disservice, so go check him out now at jordysearcymusic.com. Thanks, Jordy. Love you.